Yo, what's up everybody? Shine in the building, man, at iShine Inc. on Instagram, aka the Tattoo Rockstar. Y'all was asking me some questions on Instagram earlier this week, and I want to go ahead and answer those for you now. So let's get right into it. Brendan Nintendo, with a 0 at the end, said, if you never started tattooing or stopped tattooing one day, what would be your other passion / career? Man, that's kind of a crazy question, because you gotta take yourself out of the situation you're in and kind of like dream about what the way things would be if they didn't go the way they went. Just a little disclaimer, I'll never stop tattooing. I love tattooing, but if I wasn't tattooing, anything that I chose to do, I would approach it with the same energy that I do now. Like, I could have been a chef, or I could have been anything. I would approach it with the same attitude and the same ambition and shooting for the stars with it. I can't say I can get as specific as to what I'd be doing. Just know that whatever I would be doing, I'd be successful at it, and I'd probably be a pioneer in that industry, straight up. At No Limit Jacob, with 2 B's at the end, asked, do you believe that the type of equipment you use impacts your work, or is it all up to the artist's effort? So this is a question that floats around tattooing a lot, you know what I mean? And I've heard it a lot, and I've even had my own opinions about it before. But now I believe equipment has a lot to do with your work in general. Yes, it's true. If you're a good enough artist, you should be able to tattoo with anything and make a good tattoo. The problem is, that's after you become a good tattoo artist. To get to that point, you can't be using crap, man. It's like anything. You have to have your equipment work for you. And when you got shit that's sputtering and you got shit that's breaking down every day, it's like you might be able to do a cool walk-in tattoo with that thing if you're good enough. But at the end of the day, we're out here trying to make amazing tattoos and masterpieces and stuff like that. So with that being said, your equipment has to match up to your level. If you're a photographer, yeah, you can take dope photos based on your angles and stuff like that with any camera, but at the end of the day, you're gonna need that lens, you're gonna need that whatever that'll match up to your efforts, you know what I mean? So set your standards high in all areas, including your equipment. Don't be cheap. Like when I was first starting out, I would not buy anything unless it was directly from the person who made it. Just because I just felt like, man, why would I go on eBay and get something super cheap and it might be like a knockoff and all this other shit? Nah, man, if this person came out with some shit that's supposed to work and I believe in that, I'm just gonna buy it from them because that's how much I believe in myself. At The Tattoo Artist said, how do you push yourself to keep going after tattooing long hours back to back? I've had so many days where I tattoo maybe 12 plus hours straight. Man, like I would really bust my ass. But let me tell you, after years of doing that, I found out that it's almost unhealthy to do that. You know what I mean? Like our whole job is to tattoo consistently on a day-to-day basis, but at the same time not get burnt out. So after a while, I kind of created an infrastructure or a system for myself that made it to where I could get enough work done, but not burn myself out. So I don't go past like 6-7 hours of tattooing per day, because that's a solid amount of time for me to like get some dope work done. It's usually a pain threshold for my clients. That's about around where it's like, all right, cool, like man, cause I was about to, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Set up a system for yourself. Don't be scared to like create a way that you do stuff. I know it's hard because it's gonna like conflict with the way your shop might do stuff and things like that. But remember, man, we all in this. At the end of the day, we're individuals that have a skill in tattooing. So like, if you wanna grow and you wanna up your skill, you're gonna have to make some changes for yourself. You can't have somebody just like telling you what to do all the time when it comes to this shit, because you know, not everybody knows the best way to do it. Someone might want you to tattoo all day and night so you can make them money. But you know what? We're trying to do this for a long time and a good time. So it's like, do what works best for you. 6-7 hours a day works for me. At my_ambitious asked, what is your best advice on getting light, soft shading, which I could build on without overworking the skin? It's kind of a big question in the sense that like how at one you are with your equipment, with your machine, how good are you with it, how good does it react with, like how long have you been using it, just all of that stuff, because I really have a feel for my machine. Like I feel it hitting the skin. And that's kind of what you gotta do. Like tattooing is a lot of muscle memory, you know? Like I know how much I'm working the skin based on how the needle is hitting the skin. I can feel it. I can feel it popping in and out, like boop, 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 boop. You know, when I'm packing black, I can tell I'm hitting it harder than when I'm hitting it for light shading. And just all of the above, you know? It really has to do with doing it a lot and understanding how your equipment works. Just kind of like my opinion. Also, it varies through different people. It's always different. So basically, I try to hit my tone almost on the first try. So if I need a light shade or something like that, I try to like put it in there, pull it out, put it in there, pull it out, put it in there, pull it out. And then it's like, when you wipe, you already got that tone you were going for. So like if I'm going for a light tone, I try not to hit it 10 times to get that light tone. I'm like stroking it like bam, 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 wipe, and it's there. And since you hit it the first time without having to work it 100 times, you could go on top of that and add another tone. Like if I wanted to, because a lot of the times I have a technique on doing faces where I'll run over a light tone over all the areas that have shading, and I'll leave the highlights blank. So it's all one tone, it's all my lightest tone, right? So it's super light and everything, but I hit it all with one pass. I didn't like go crazy or nothing. It's just one pass, one pass, one pass, one pass, and it's all light tone. Now after that, I might take a break or something, I'll come back to it, and I'll go over it in the spots that are darker. I'll go over it with another tone, and I'll put the tones where they need to be. It makes it a lot easier to be like, all right, this is a little darker, this is a lot darker. And then even after you apply those tones over the light tone, it's gonna already be faded out because you faded out the light tone so smooth and only with one pass, so the skin's like less irritated. So it looks smoother, you know what I mean? You gotta remember, like, it's a needle hitting skin, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you gotta keep that in mind when you're doing that. So it's about finesse and how you're moving your hands and non-sporadic movements. You know, a lot of people will just be like, jerk and like put the needle in the skin and like do these sporadic movements and stuff. Like, nah man, finesse, like smooth, be player with it, you know what I mean? Like just bam, 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 you know what I mean? Just like that. And also don't have your machines running too high, and be conscious of the depth that you're going into the skin. Like I said, man, it's a ton of different things, but that's just kind of my quick answer on that, you know what I mean? Straight up. All right, we got a personal question from ant_inkpit. He asked me, do you stress? Do I stress? Do I stress? Let's get this clear, man. Like, I'm a human being. The quick answer is yes, I do stress. The thing is how you're gonna react to it. How are you gonna counteract it? What's your counterattack? You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do to fight your stress or your anxiety? Because everyone gets that. I get it all the fucking time. Like, I swear to God, like, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to stay consistent in my attitude and my work and with people, my relationships and stuff like that. So like, even though my general approach at life is a positive thing, I still have stress and anxiety for myself to uphold that on a constant basis, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, just be open to certain things. You know, I meditate sometimes, and I know that's like weird to some people, but like, you know, whatever to clear your mind, whatever you need to do to clear your mind. Drugs is definitely not the answer. I want to tell y'all right now, drugs is not the answer. A lot of people will try to, you know, overboard on weed or popping pills, or they do shit to keep their energy up, like coke and stuff like that. It's like, you know what, if you need something that's outside of your body to feel good about yourself, then it's like you're doing something wrong in your actual life, you know what I mean? So get your routine down, get a routine that's productive for you and makes you feel good. Don't overthink stuff because you're constantly like replaying stuff in your head that you don't need to be replaying. There's a lot of events that happen in life that are unavoidable, and you don't need to beat yourself up about it, you know what I mean? Because like shit happens, and you're always gonna beat yourself up thinking like, damn, like what did I do, or this and that, like all that. Like, this stuff is meant to happen, bro. Life is hard. The one thing that you could do to make it less hard is not put more pressure on yourself like that, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the stuff that people stress off of is stuff that they put on themselves, or stuff that they're dwelling on in their head constantly, day in, day out. So find your way to clear your mind, you know what I mean, and focus on what's beautiful in your life. You know, gratitude is the #1 thing that's gonna keep you from, you know, going on a downward spiral. So learn how to be gracious, straight up. At Have a Good AM, let me say that one more time. At Have a Good AM asked, what is your favorite part of being a tattoo artist? You know, that's kind of funny because in the beginning of my tattoo career, tattooing is fucking stressful. Like, tattooing is the most stressful job that anyone could ever have. I know that there's a lot of shit, but in the beginning, before you know how to actually tattoo, and before you're actually like really good or good at talking to clients, or just all of the above, you know, or just have your path in tattooing and shit like that, it's absolutely stressful. Because like, to practice, to get better. You're gonna have to fuck up on somebody. You're gonna have to do a walk-in randomly that you're not ready for. You're not experienced enough yet to really know that you can knock this out the park. But you got a tattoo to get better. So in the beginning, it's like the most stressful job ever. Straight the fuck up. Now, on the other note, if you work and you put in that time and pay your dues like I did, and you get to the point where you start to get good and you start to really connect with your clients, and it's all on that basis where everything is like a full package, that's when tattooing becomes a dream job. Right now, I feel like I have a dream job. I feel extremely blessed to do what I do because it's the most lucrative form of art. You know what I mean? There's painters, there's graffiti artists, there's mural artists. Mural artists actually make some pretty good money, but that's like 1 in a million that they're actually like killing it on a consistent basis and able to make a living. So tattooing is the most lucrative form of art, first of all. Second of all, it's like you're living an entrepreneurship lifestyle, but you have a day-to-day job, which is actually dope because a lot of people need the discipline of having to come in every day and do work. But at the same time, you kind of have an entrepreneurship side to it because you basically doing your own marketing, you're your own individual person, you're an independent contractor, and your skill stays with you. So whatever you develop skills along the way in this career, you get to keep that for life. And I guarantee you some of the people skills that you learn also are gonna carry over into different aspects throughout your entire life, you know what I mean? So I've learned a lot tattooing and I've taken a lot from it, and that's actually the best part of it, you know what I mean? Like on a day-to-day basis, I get to meet new people or connect with people I've already connected with. You build relationships with your clients to where they become your friends. And as you get better, you just feel good about tattooing in general. So like if you have something that you love to do on a day-to-day basis, it's like, you're winning. You're winning. Just, be gracious about it, That's the best part of tattooing, straight up. At Devontae Carter asked, what are some other tattoo artists that you admire or look up to? Man, there's a lot of artists on Instagram, obviously, because I scroll through it all the time and I look at a bunch of different artists. I look up to the OGs in the game and all of that. But that's in the general sense. Specifically, there's a few artists that I look up to for sometimes there are other reasons than just the tattoos that they do. Because, it might be the way they think, the way they carry themselves, the way they present themselves, whatever. Eric Marcitizen, look him up on Instagram. I'll probably put his tag around here somewhere so that you guys can go follow him. He's a tattoo artist. I think he's tattooing out of LA right now. I like the way he approaches tattoos. I was watching some videos of him doing some tattoos or whatever, and the way he was explaining it to his client was the way kind of I explain it to my clients. He was talking about the aesthetic of the tattoo, and overall, besides the meaning, besides whatever the reason you're getting the tattoo, it has to look good on your skin, on your body. You know what I mean? That's fucking everything to me. Like, I want to change your look for the better and make it look good. You're accessorizing your body permanently. You know what I mean? So you need that shit to be A1. So the way he was explaining it to his client was like, yeah, this is cool, but I want to make sure we get this shit right as far as placement and just the way it looks, because aesthetic is everything. I want to change your look for the better. That's how he was explaining it. Not to mention his tattoos are beautiful. They're like pieces of jewelry. I don't care if your tattoos a rose or a female face or what. It's like a piece of jewelry. If I got one on my neck, it would be beautiful. I got one on my arm, it'd be dope. You know what I mean? Like, so Eric Marcitizen for sure. Some other quick ones, just real quick, not going too far into detail. Neon Judas, Carl Grace, he's dope because he freehands everything. Some people that I'm actually around all the time. Jeff Goldway, for all the tattoo artists that are watching this, you probably know who Jeff Goldway is. I just like the way he looks at art. He looks at it as like a lifestyle. It's like very methodical about it, he just looks at it differently than most people. So it's very inspiring to watch him talk about art and tattooing in general. Those are some quick ones. Definitely check out Eric because I actually want to meet him and see if we can connect. Oh, Lil B Tattoo as well. Lil B. Tattoo artists know him from YouTube, stuff like that. We've all watched him during our careers. Lil B. What's up, Lil B? We're going to connect one day. I'm going to come out to Japan, wherever you're at, France, and we'll vlog together and vibe together because I love your vibe, bro. So, straight up. At DFenz1. That's DFENZ1. Asked, what is your secret to your own personal success? My secret to my own personal success. I mean, most of all, I think just having a North Star. And what I mean by that is having like a bigger picture, an end goal. You could change the end goal or whatever that, like, whatever. just having an end goal, and then everything that you do on a day-to-day basis is basically the ladder climbing to that end goal. You know, it gives you a way to plan out what you're gonna do. So everything that I do is moving towards what I really want to happen in my life, you know what I mean? And so like I try to stay consistent. I try to do everything with a positive attitude and approach everything with a positive attitude. I'm kind to people so I can get the reciprocation of kindness back. It's just a ton of different traits. You really got to work on yourself personally as a person before it applies to your professional career. You know what I mean? Because you as a person is what's going to change your work and whatever's up here. You know what I mean? Because if you as a person aren't developed, but you want to do better in your professional life, it's not going to happen, because you might be able to work on your craft and stuff like that, but you're bad with people, you're bad with, you're an introvert. And like that's a big excuse that I hear people say, oh, I'm an introvert, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do it. It's just not me, it's just not my style. Nah, that's your beliefs that you've had about yourself since you were a child, so you think they're true. But let me tell you something, you could change your beliefs about yourself overnight if you were that motivated to do so. It's not like I was born just, you know, like this. You know, you develop as you grow, and it's like, it's never too late. You could be a 40-year-old and decide to change your life, and over the course of the next year, you could turn out a totally different person on the other end, you know? So don't hold on to these beliefs and think that they're embedded in your DNA, because no matter what you set your mind to, you can make it happen. And that's how I've lived my whole life at past 18 years old, because that's when I kind of started feeling this out and seeing that I can do that. So, you know what I mean? Don't hold yourself back mentally. Open yourself up, open your mind up, and don't be scared to work on yourself or pick specific traits about yourself that you could see get better, and actually work on those things. Like I've worked on confidence and like socializing. Be real with yourself, be transparent with yourself when no one else is in the room. Maybe even write down some traits that you need to work on about yourself, and just, you know, make it a point to kind of work on it over time. And you'll be surprised once you knock one of those out and you start getting better. You just start being the artist of your own life, you know what I mean? Like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit. All of a sudden you're a rock star. Straight up. At Savage Dax. You guys should go follow him. He's very inspiring for tattoo artists. What's the next level for Shine? I feel like this is a good one to close out on. The next level for me, obviously I just opened the studio. That's a big step for me. I'm doing other big things behind the scenes that you guys will see up and coming in January, and I'm doing that stuff as well. I think the bigger picture for me is going to be I was just talking about this earlier, finding a way that I could do my work on a larger scale and package it, pre-package it for people, so that I could end up, every tattoo or every project I'm working on clients and stuff is set up this way. So like if I want to knock out projects as far as like sleeves and back pieces and chest pieces, I want to find out a way that I could package those things to where you could basically get your sleeve done in 2 weeks. Or you can get your back piece done in a week. Or you can get your chest piece done in a couple of days. I know it's not for everybody, but I want to do what no one else has done, and I want to start knocking out body parts and projects like that and just do it amazing. I want to do the most solid tattoo work and just get a lot of fucking work done. Find out a way to pre-package it for people to where they understand what's going to happen before they get it done and stuff like that. So, you know, there's something to be done in that space, and I'm gonna figure it out. Also, I want to help cultivate more rock stars, young kids that we already have in here that are killing it. They're already killing it. Not that I'm like super better than them or anything, but there's something to be said about us vibing together and bouncing ideas off of each other, and then growing as much as I'm growing. I want to make more rock stars. I don't care if somebody leaves here and goes and opens their own shop. I honestly just want those people to be as successful. You know, I just don't want to hate on people growing. I love the fact that people are trying new shit, or they want to go do that, or maybe they want to make their life more about their paintings and less about their tattoos, and then they want to market that, or they want to make it, you know, like, fuck it, man, like, do you, and I'm here to support. And there's other stuff behind the scenes, but it's not developed enough for me to address that right now. So basically that's it, man. We all trying to be rock stars out here, and yeah, no matter what you do, you can be a rock star too. And I'm trying to push that a lot. You can be the dopest at whatever you do. You don't have to be a shooter or a pimp or a fucking a stick-up kid to be dope. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, that's what the culture is all vibing off of nowadays. Like, you got rappers and hip-hop going crazy, and that's like the culture and stuff. But let me tell you something straight up. You can be dope doing whatever it is that you do. You could be doing anything and be the dopest at that. You could be the most poppin', the most flyest fisherman, and I don't give a fuck what the fuck it is, you know what I mean? You could be the dopest. So fuck all that bullshit. Stop trying to drive other people's lanes. Figure out what you want to do as a passion and make it your purpose and become a rock star at it, baby. Like, fuck what people think, man. Take it all the way. Set your North Star high, keep positive, and stay gracious. It's all love, baby. Yeah. Until next time.